Your K-drama boyfriend is the most perfect man on earth. And last night you watched him say the exact thing you have been waiting to hear your whole life. You replayed it, maybe twice, maybe 4 times, and for a few seconds you felt something you have not felt in a long time. Scene. Here is what I need to tell you. The line was not written by him. It was written by a 43-year-old woman in a conference room who has never met you but knows exactly what keeps you up at night. That look in his eyes was filmed 16 times until the director got the angle right. And that moment, he remembered what you said 3 months ago was planted in episode 2 because the data shows it will break you episode 9. He's not a man. He's a $12 million product. And the empty side of your bed at 2 a.m. is the target market. But before you feel stupid, please don't. Because you're not the problem. The product is. And today, I'm going to take you inside the factory where he was built, show you why real Korean men look nothing like him, and show you why the messiest moment of your real life is more powerful than anything they ever put on screen. Stay with me. Let me take you inside the room where your boyfriend was assembled. Not a bedroom, a conference room in Sangam-dong with fluorescent lights and a whiteboard covered in arrows. This is where the writers sit. And the first thing they discuss at the start of every new project is not what is a good story. It is what will make her stay past episode 3. Her, not the Korean audience, her. The woman watching on Netflix at midnight in another country. Here is a number that changes everything. International streaming now accounts for over 60% of a top K-drama's total revenue. You are not the side audience. You are the main revenue source. And every creative decision starts with that fact. So how do you build a man that a woman in another country will fall in love with through a screen? It is a formula, and I will walk you through it piece by piece. The voice. It needs to be deep enough to feel masculine, but soft enough to never feel threatening. There is an actual range they target. Too deep, and he comes across aggressive. Too high, and he loses authority. The sweet spot makes you feel like he could protect you, but would never raise his voice. The wardrobe. You know the oversized coat. Every K-drama boyfriend has one. That is not a coincidence. An oversized coat on a slim frame triggers a specific visual signal. It makes him look protective while keeping his body non-intimidating. The stylists know this. They have tested this. The tears. This is where it gets surgical. 1 tear is romantic. 2 tears is vulnerable. Full crying is weakness. They aim for 1. And it has to come from the left eye because most cameras are positioned to catch the left profile. The director will reshoot that moment 15 to 20 times until the tear rolls at the exact speed that makes you pause the scene. Now the writing technique that I think is the most brilliant and the most manipulative. Insiders call it the echo line. Here is how it works. In episode 2, the female character says something small. Maybe she mentions she likes the sound of rain. Or she had a dog named something when she was little. You forget. She forgets. 7 episodes pass. Then in episode 9, during the emotional peak, he says it back. You told me you liked the sound of rain, so I brought you here. And you lose it. Because you think he remembered. You think he was paying attention when nobody else was. But he did not remember anything. A writer planted that al-ini in episode 2, knowing it would detonate in episode 9. And they placed the payoff at the 42-minute mark. Because viewing data shows that is when your emotional resistance is at its lowest. This is not love. This is precision engineering. And it is aimed at the exact part of you that is tired of being forgotten. I know this because I once sat next to a K-drama writer at a dinner in Seoul, and after her 3rd glass of soju, she said something I have never forgotten. She said we do not write love stories, we write loneliness detectors. If the scene does not target a specific wound, it gets cut. That is the woman who wrote the line that made you cry last night. I am not telling you this to make you feel foolish. You are not foolish. These are some of the most talented storytellers in the world, backed by billions of dollars of behavioral data. The product was designed to be irresistible, and the proof is in what you actually do. You do not replay the action scenes. You do not screenshot the car chase. You replay the umbrella scene. You screenshot the tear, because that is what he was built for. Now I need to show you something that no K-drama and no fan edit will ever show you. What actually happens when you try to date a Korean man in real life. And I need to be honest with you here because some of this is going to be uncomfortable. But I would rather you hear it from me now than learn it alone in a restaurant in Hongdae. Let us say you matched with a Korean guy on an app. His first message will not be the echo line. His first message will probably be, "How old are you?" Not "How are you?" Not "What do you do?" How old are you? Because in Korea, age determines everything. How he speaks to you, whether he uses formal language, whether he considers you a serious option. You have not even met yet, and you are already being sorted into a category. Now let us say you get past that, and you meet for a first date. It will be at a chain cafe. Not because it is romantic, because it is safe. He chose it because nobody he knows will judge him for being seen at that specific cafe. He will arrive on time. He will look good. He will be polite. And he will spend roughly 30% of the date looking at his phone. Not because he does not care, but because he genuinely does not know how to have a conversation that is not structured. In Korea, conversations follow invisible rules. You do not bring up anything too personal on a first meeting. You do not disagree openly. You do not say anything that could be judged later. So you will talk about food. You will talk about travel. You will talk about weather. And you will go home thinking, that was fine, I guess, but I did not feel anything. Now here is where it gets really interesting. I watched this happen to a friend of mine, a foreign woman living in Seoul. She had been seeing a Korean guy for about 3 weeks. And on the 4th date, he sat her down and said, "I think we should be official." She thought, wow, he really likes me. He did not really like her yet. He barely knew her. But in Korean dating culture, leaving things undefined is more uncomfortable than committing too early. This is not passion. This is scheduling. Then come the couple outfits, the matching phone cases, the required anniversary dinners at specific restaurants on specific dates. None of this is spontaneous. All of it is a checklist. I lived in Australia for years, and I watched relationships happen the opposite way. People argued in public and made up over a beer. A woman would tell a man he was wrong to his face, and he would respect her more for it. Nobody was performing, nobody was following a relationship manual. And I need to be really honest here because this is the part that might sting. The K-drama boyfriend exists precisely because real Korean men cannot deliver what he delivers. He is not an exaggeration of Korean men. He is a replacement for them. The writers know that real Korean dating is awkward and scripted and safe. That is exactly why they built the fantasy. The bigger the gap between reality and the product, the more you watch, the more you subscribe, the more you buy that ticket to Seoul. But when you land, he is not at the airport. He is on a server. Now I know what you are thinking. You ruined it. What is left? Here is what is left. Something better than the product. Something the factory cannot build. And it is already inside you. But first let me show you what he is used to. Because if you do not understand what is sitting across from him every single day, you will not understand why you hit him like a truck. Here is what a typical date looks like from the other side of the table. She arrived 12 minutes early. Not because she was excited. Because she needed to check her makeup in the bathroom mirror 3 times before he walked in. She ordered a salad. Not because she wanted a salad, because she calculated that a salad looks elegant and stays under 400 calories and does not risk getting sauce on her lip gloss. He made a joke. It was not funny. She laughed anyway. The small laugh. The one where you cover your mouth and tilt your head slightly to the right because that is the angle that photographs best. He asked her opinion about something. She agreed with him, not because she agreed, because disagreeing on a first date is a risk, and Korean women are trained to eliminate risk the same way Korean men are trained to eliminate individuality. She will not eat what she actually wants. She will not say what she actually thinks. She will not laugh the way she actually laughs. She is performing girlfriend the way an employee performs enthusiasm at a company dinner. And here is the part that I probably should not say, but I am going to say it. She spent 90 minutes getting ready for this date. She has not posted a photo without a filter since 2019. She owns 3 designer bags, but her credit card is maxed. She photographs food she does not eat. She edits her own jawline in every photo until her own friends do not recognize her in person. And she calls this taking care of herself. It is not taking care of herself. It is a full-time job pretending to be a version of herself that does not exist. I am not saying she is a bad person. The system made her this way, just like it made the man this way. But I am saying this. This is the woman he has been sitting across from his entire life. Controlled, filtered, performing. Every single date, every single time. And then one day he sits across from someone who is none of those things. Let me show you what happens. Now here is the part that changes everything. And I need you to pay very close attention because this is not flattery. This is something I have watched happen with my own eyes. There are specific moments when a foreign woman does something so simple, so natural, that she does not even realize she did it. But the Korean man standing next to her will remember it for years. Let me walk you through 5 of them. Number 1, you are at the restaurant. The waiter comes and you order for yourself. That is it. You just looked at the menu and said, I will have this. In Korea, the man orders. That is the rule. The woman waits. The man decides. The man speaks to the waiter. You did not know this rule existed, so you just ordered what you wanted. And he froze. Not because he was offended, because nobody has ever done that in front of him before. A woman who just decides what she wants without waiting for permission. His brain registered that as confidence, and he had no category for it. Number 2, he said something that was supposed to be funny. A rehearsed joke he has used before. The safe kind that always gets a polite laugh in Korea. And you did not laugh, not because you were rude, because it was not funny to you. In Korea, a woman would have laughed anyway. She would have covered her mouth and tilted her head and said something like, "Oh, you are so funny, oppa." You just looked at him and said, not really. He did not know what to do with that. And he liked it, because for the first time in his life, a woman gave him a real reaction instead of a performance. Number 3, you were walking together and you grabbed his arm. Not dramatically, not like a K-drama scene. You just grabbed his arm because you felt like it. In Korea, couples are careful about public touching. There are rules about when and how much is acceptable, especially early on. You did not know any of those rules. You just touched him because it felt natural. And he went completely still for about 2 seconds. Not because he did not want it. Because he did not know a woman could just do that without checking first. Number 4, you looked at him across the table and said, "You look tired today." 4 words. In Korea, nobody says that to a man. His mother does not say it. His boss definitely does not say it. His friends would consider it awkward. A man in Korea is supposed to always look fine. Tiredness is weakness. Weakness is failure. And then you just looked at him and saw it. Not his performance, him. And his eyes got red. Not because he was sad, because someone finally noticed. Number 5, something was funny, really funny. And you laughed. Not the Korean laugh where you cover your mouth and keep it small and controlled. You threw your head back. You laughed from your whole body, loud, unfiltered. The kind of laugh that makes other people in the restaurant look over. He stared at you for about 3 seconds after you stopped. And here is what was going through his head. I have never seen anyone do that. Not that he has never seen someone laugh. He has never seen someone be that free in front of him. That is the thing. It was not the laugh. It was the freedom behind it. The freedom to react without calculating. The freedom to be loud without apologizing. The freedom to take up space without checking if it is allowed. That is what he fell for. Not your face, not your body, not your age, your freedom. And freedom in Korea is the most expensive thing that does not exist. I get messages in my DMs every week from Korean men who say the same thing. I met her and she just talked to me like a normal person. And I cannot stop thinking about it. That is it. That is the whole secret. You did not perform. You did not follow the manual. You just showed up as yourself. And that was enough to crash his entire operating system. Now I know that some of you are watching this and thinking, that is a nice story. But it does not apply to me. You're thinking, I am not confident enough. I'm not interesting enough. I am not young enough. Let me be very direct with you. You do not need to be confident to break him. You do not need to be interesting. You do not need to be young. You just need to be unscripted. And you already are. You have been unscripted your entire life. That is not a flaw. That is the thing he has been starving for in a country where everything and everyone follows the same program. The woman who orders her own food without thinking about it. The woman who says no, that is not funny. The woman who grabs his arm because she feels like it. The woman who notices he is tired. The woman who laughs like nobody is watching. That woman did not do anything extraordinary. She just did not perform. And that was the most extraordinary thing he had ever seen. Your K-drama boyfriend is not real. He was assembled in a conference room by people who studied your loneliness like a science. But you are real. The way you laugh is real. The way you react without thinking is real. The way you say what you mean, even when it is uncomfortable, is real. And somewhere in Korea right now, there is a man who has been performing his entire life and has never once been in a room with someone who is not performing back. He does not need a perfect woman. He has been drowning in perfection his entire life. He needs a real one. And real does not mean beautiful. Real does not mean confident. Real does not mean young. Real means you walk into a room and you do not pretend to be anything other than what you are. Perfect is forgettable. Real is unforgettable. Stay real. Because that is what I crave. This is Sibong Records. Now tell me in the comments, which of those 5 moments would you do first? I read every single one. See you in the next video.